How's it going, you guys? In this video, I'm going to break down Starfire zoning in more detail to help everyone out there learning the character. I apologize if you hear my cat in the background. Starfire zoning is very unique in the sense that it's all about conditioning and being very mobile. So what I mean by this is from meter burn orb. You see, using your trait with meter burn orb causes it to explode, and that explosion can actually launch the opponent. What makes it so powerful is that this explosion can actually shut down jumping entirely from your opponent. And they get launched for a full combo. For massive damage. Now, if your opponent happens to block this, you're extremely plus. So you can frame trap your opponent using your trait. For example, as you saw, there was a long delay there and he still couldn't move. It should also be worth mentioning that Starfire has enough time to throw both a Starbolt or a Stardust while this orb is on screen. This lets her occupy tons of space. And depending on your timing, you can make them land on a Starbolt, explode the orb, and get a large amount of combo damage. Nearly 50% in fact. But the timing is very tricky. Almost had it there, but yeah, that's the idea. Now, if they choose to respect the orb and actually block, they receive a giant amount of chip damage with pushback, and you gain a lot of bar. Let me turn Mr. Nelson from no longer jumping. So, here we go. So they have to block it. As you saw, I almost gained half a bar. In this scenario, it is actually better to use Stardust here for optimal meter build, since it forces them to block her trait. Whoops. As you can see, that is a very large amount of chip damage here. Now, what's tricky here is that this is all space dependent since the orb doesn't explode when it reaches full screen. See? And if I try to do... Whoops, I need bar. And if I try to explode it when it reaches full screen, well, as you can see, it's not possible. The explosion will not reach him. One more time. Yeah, it's just not going to reach in time. However, you can still use the orb to make them think twice about jumping forward and cause them to block a Stardust, which is a whopping plus 24 and jails in a trait if you time it correctly. Let me actually make him duck so you can see exactly what I mean. Whoops. There you go. Also, something worth mentioning is if you see this hit, you can land a Tamarinian charge to switch sides and cash out on damage. So let me take him off ducking, no longer blocking. So the orb hits, switch sides, cash out on damage. You can also do this with Stardust as well. Whoops. Yeah, my timing's off, I apologize. There you go. Get 20%, switch sides, and then walk back with all that space. So, if you happen to mess up the timing on that, and your opponent just blocks all of that because you made a bad read, or your reactions were too slow, as long as you have the extra bar, you can make yourself safe and be at -2, which is great for her long-reaching 6-frame down 1. This can also be drastically delayed, or just cashed out immediately for more mind games. However, doing so will put a gap in front of it. So lastly is her meter burn Starbolts. which covers the ground in front of her and has pushback. This is -7. Since the first hit is a high, this is primarily used to gain space. As you see, she leans back. Or cover yourself from below if you happen to do the airborne version. And however, using her forward 2 will trick the opponent into blocking high, since the second hit is an overhead, and they will eat tons of chip damage. That's all for now, guys. I hope you found this video extremely helpful. Thanks for watching.